Hello everybody, my name is Benjamin Bloom. I have just witnessed Luton 1, Millwall 1, a late equaliser for Luton where Millwall thought they'd come away and done an away match special on Luton as the crowd for Millwall turned a little bit nasty against Neil Harris in the first half. Here is how it all played out. Luton line up with their diamond midfield standards for them. Slugger in goal. Bree, Pearson, Bradley and Potts is the back four. Butterfield sits in front. He's the holding midfielder. A lot of rotation then between Ruddock to his right, Tunnicliffe to his left. Tunnicliffe playing against his old club. Izzy Brown sort of nominally in the 10 position with Cornick and Collins up top. Both of those scoring well for Luton. Millwall flat sort of 4-4-2. Bialkowski in goal. Romeo, Hutchinson, Cooper, Murray Wallace is the back four. Jed Wallace down the right, Connor Mahoney down the left. Centre mids are Malumbi and Leonard. Up front, big Matt Smith and less big Tom Bradshaw. Early chance actually for Millwall, and I'm going to be quite critical of Millwall in the first half, but they could have taken a lead here. Force a corner within 50 seconds. Cooper's up well at the back post. He just always seems to win these, doesn't he? Heads it back across. Smith's there as well, and it just shades across that far post. Luton caught a bit cold by that. Bit of a loose start by Izzy Brown in the 10 positions. Couple of early giveaways from him. Nearly, if Smith had been Bradshaw, nearly given Millwall a perfect through ball with one very loose pass there. Ruddock wins a dangerous free kick on 7. Brown puts that one well over. We get the lovely spectacle of a meal, which lasted about 2 minutes from the Millwall fans. They did seem behind the team at first, but that did change midway through the first half. It's another dangerous free kick for Luton. Brown doesn't cross it. It's on the floor for Potts, who boots it goalwards. It's blocked out there. First of a few inventive set plays that we should commend Luton on. Luton with the ball here in this first quarter of an hour. Millwall sitting and waiting for the counter. Both teams look a threat at this stage. Early balls, particularly for Bradshaw in behind, look a threat, but that threat is going to diminish and Luton really are going to take the game by the horns here. 18, Luton patient here. Ruddock does well, inside left. Potts feeds in behind, across with pace here. Collins is arriving at the back post. It's one of those where he goes up for the header and you think the net is going to ripple, but it's across the face and it does not go in on the back post. I think Collins ends up in the net. The ball doesn't. Next phase here, Brown with the low corner here. Collins on the near post, gets the flick here. Good quality of game from the set play. Bialkowski stands up well, reacts. You often see those when they hit the keeper and just creep in the side netting, don't they? Bialkowski's going to have a good game today, which I'm pleased about, not just because he's on loan from Ipswich, but because he dropped an absolute clanger last time I saw Millwall play at home to QPR. Millwall get the first bit of territory on about 22 minutes where they actually get out and get up the pitch a little bit and actually start to press in midfield, because in the main they sat off in midfield and just held the low block, which was frustrating their supporters there behind the goal. They've taken the sting out of it now, Millwall. They've stopped Luton's energy, and they're not allowing Luton to transition quickly now, but it is very much 2 rows of 4 behind the ball. Not a lot of attacking intent from the Lions. Quick throw in, Brown onto Ruddock here, 25 yards out with Bree overlapping, but he smashes it over. At this point, we do get boring Millwall from the Millwall fans. Attack, and we're effing shit. So it's right on a knife edge there between the Millwall fans and Neil Harris at the moment. Need some results. Big boot down the ground here though. Bradshaw chases through. Mahoney's up to his left. He feeds it right to Smith, who's a bit more static, and his shot's blocked. I wonder if he just reverse balls that to Mahoney, a better chance there. Best Millwall opening since that corner in the first minute. On 42 is a Millwall counter again. Wallace down the right here. Early cross from deep. The block is in by Bradley on Big Smith. Worked right to left here. Tunnicliffe is in the box, overloaded on the far side for Luton. In on his right foot, blocks out again by that stiff, deep Millwall defence. Mahoney's cross here near post. Leonard inches away there, but Sluga gathers it. So Millwall, couple of moments there. This half was not great. I think the first 10 minutes was quite good, where you had Luton coming forward quite openly and Millwall trying to counter. Luton got on top around the quarter-hour mark. Millwall then funneled back into a really quite deep shape. Their counter-attack stopped, which is what their supporters picked up on behind the goal there. Not a lot of intent after that. That said, it did kill the game a bit as a spectacle. It was quite effective, actually, when Millwall got in that really deep block. I do remember going to Pride Park last year and seeing Millwall do that for 90 minutes and actually getting a win up at Derby when Wallace nicked the goal on the break there. So it can be effective, but I think all Millwall fans, far be it for me to speak for them, I think all Millwall fans really want was for the team to just have a bit of an up and at 'em fighting attitude rather than this passive kind of sit back type attitude. Excuse me, someone's light is flashing there in my face. Half time, interesting substitution. Ben Thompson comes on for Connor Mahoney, so it's kind of one creative player comes off and another creative player comes on. Doesn't really solve the midfield overload, and still leaving two up front for the counter. I guess if he takes a forward off, he gets accused of being very negative, but same shape, different players. Interesting one from Harris there, but wait for the goal though for Thompson's input here. On 48, Wallace, deep cross here from the right here. Thompson's arriving. He's not the guy you want on the end of the cross. Difficult header, puts it well wide. Brown gets a free kick on 51. All the big guys go to the back post. We think he's going to lob it in there, but he slides it low along the floor to the near post. Another inventive set play. And Collins, I have to say, doesn't have his shooting boots on today. A mixture of his finishing and Białkowski playing well in the goal. Not happening for Collins today. As he swivels here, he misses his kick for that one. Corner comes in. Oh God, sorry, I should hype this up a bit more. Corner comes in, big guys go near post, another good set play. Collins this time on the volley, he hits it down into the ground, it bounces up to Białkowski's left. This is a great save. This is classic Mick McCarthy, Ipswich Town. Bart Białkowski reaches up with the left hand, tips it onto the crossbar. Terrific save from Bart there. Well played, nice to see. 57, free kick lobbed in. Mollenby, half volley way over. So let's set this up. Millwall not contributing a hell of a lot. Luton looking the more likely. They've come out well. Start of the second half. So everybody after three, we all know what's coming. Here comes the sucker punch. Millwall goal. And this is down to two things. It's down to the running in behind from Tom Bradshaw, which he did all game, which I mentioned in the first half, where they did have a counter-attack threat. It was Bradshaw running the channels in between the two centre-backs. And it's a bit of quality from Ben Thompson, actually, as well. So it's a big header out. Bradshaw chases it in the first instance. He smashes it across the goal. Smith not quite in there keeping up with the play. Goes all the way across, and this is really clever from Thompson. I saw, who did I see do this for Fulham last night? Joe Bryan, exactly the same goal nearly. So Thompson has got it on the left-hand side. You think, right, where's Smith? He's going to head to the back post, lob it in, but no, takes a touch, slides it along the floor, which catches them out to Jed Wallace. Jed Wallace has always got a good turn of pace and accelerates quickly with the ball, makes some space for himself, hits it across the goal, left-footed, not his strong foot, and I've seen Sluga play twice. I'm not convinced. He gets a hand on it. He pushes it straight into Bradshaw's path and into the net from point-blank range from Bradshaw. And in the context of the hour of the game we've played, really against the run of play, that one. Millwall sitting in, not a lot of attacking intent, but they take the lead here. Are they going to pull off the away match masterclass here today? On we go, 62, Collins, long ranger, well over. Graham Jones is quick here to reset this one. Sorry, I just popped the charger in on my telephone so I do not run out of juice while I'm recording this. Hopefully you can still to see me. Do I need to put my ignition on? Apologies there for a little bit of housework in the middle of that. So it's Luar on for Butterfield, McManaman on for Cornick, and it's pretty much a 4-3-3 straight away. He knows there's going to be limited intent from the Millwall team now. Goal. So Collins goes up from a down the right, Luar down the left. You have Tunnicliffe sitting now and Ruddock and Brown in a central midfield. So he goes for it, Jones, nice and attacking here. Luar is going to be a bit of a nuisance here. He's into the box, across to Brown. Awful one from Brown. Inconsistent game from Izzy Brown. Although when you actually look at it, a lot of Luton's best moments actually come from him. But he did have the ball a lot and was very hit and miss with it, let's just say. Luar again down the left, past Romeo. He goes low cross driven here. Collins is in there again. He needs to lift this one, just get a little bit of air under it. He's point blank range, but Bart gets down well to make the save. Like I say, a little bit of culture on that one. He's going to put that in. It did come at him quickly, to be fair. Not Collins' day in front. On another day, he's going to score at least 2 goals in this game. Mollenby, 2 fouls in quick succession on Luar, who is a nuisance here. When you get this low block defence, you do need a guy who's going to stand up and try and beat a man, and he just keeps stopping with the ball and dribbling. So he was the right guy to come in this instance. He draws the yellow card here from Mollenby. Free kick goes in, it's clear. McManaman floats that one back into Bielkowski's hand. We're running out of time now. 76, Thompson in the 10 position here. Shifts it right. Good hit by Ben Thompson here. Palmed away by Sluga. Decent save, it's close to him. They should be making that save here. Yellow for Wallace here. He's wasting a bit of time. He boots the ball away well after the whistle has gone here. Yellow for Romeo now on Luar. They're taking it in turns. They tried to protect Romeo. Often it was the midfielder who was going with Luar, and Romeo was actually covered back, but he does take the yellow here. Harris makes the defensive substitution here, which kind of made sense. He puts O'Brien in, so it's a 4-4-1-1. Now takes Big Smith off. So Thompson goes into the 10 position behind Bradshaw. Wallace swap wings down the left, and O'Brien is going to play down the right for the remainder of this game. And here comes a key substitution here. Luke Bolton is going to come on for Izzy Brown, and there's just a whole ton of wingers on the pitch for Luton now. Luar and McManaman and Bolton all on there now. So McManaman comes in a little bit more centrally, and Bolton's going to try and get up outside him. He's still got James Bree behind him. Basically ends up looking like a 4-2-4. They're really going to just try and get their wingers massively high. And lo and behold, 3 minutes after making this change, I think the manager's got to take the credit for this one, because they've got 2 runners now against Murray Wallace. And interestingly enough, Wallace has a really good moment just before this. He steals in, gets up the pitch, and gets a nice long ball into the channel. And I don't know, maybe he just came from a more forward position and wasn't quite ready for this when Bolton comes. I think it's Tunnicliffe slides it into Bolton. He stands Wallace up. He's fresh as a daisy. He runs at him. He beats him, gets to the touchline here. And it's a good cross because he pulls it back into the space rather than going along like the Luar cross where Collins didn't have too much room for the shot. He cuts it back. McManaman is now inside. It's literally the 2 players that Graham Jones has just moved who are going to be assister and goal scorer. So McManaman sweeps it home under Bielkowski, hits it first time, and it is 1-1. And I guess even though Luton were getting a bit tepid in their attack as Millwall got that low block further and further back, I guess over the course of the game, Luton didn't really deserve to lose this. 89, Wallace free kick here, swung in out to Mollenby. This is a dipping volley. That didn't look like it missed by too much from outside the box. We get into stoppage time, and Millwall actually have a chance right at the end. It's a bit of a tired shot from Bradshaw, creeping towards the corner, but very, very slowly. And the game ends 1-1. And I went through so many emotions in this one. In the first half, I'm thinking right in the opening, I'm thinking this is going to be really open. There could be goals. You got one team trying to transition quickly and the other counter-attacking against them, sitting back, both with attacking intent. So I thought we could get an open game. Then I thought Luton were going to have a good win as they came on strong, came in on top. Then Millwall kind of shut it down. I got a little bit bored and, hearing those chants from the Millwall fans, not an entirely happy camp, that relationship. Then we get after half-time, Luton come again, and I think, right, Luton are going to move on. This is theirs for the taking now. Millwall sitting back. Then Millwall get the sucker punch and Białkowski makes those couple of saves. And we've all seen it a million times. You're like, this is going to be an away win, isn't it? And then the final substitution there, Bolton on for Brown, and they get the equaliser. So my brain went about 10 different directions. I guess, given Millwall's stubbornness in defence and the way they restricted and frustrated Luton for that long period towards the end of the first half, and after they scored for a while as well, I guess they deserve to take something from this game. But I also think Luton deserve to take something from this game because they had the main attacking thrust, and it was just a bit of a frustrating day for Collins. If you think about it, that header in the first half, the near post flip that Białkowski saves, then he misses his kick from Brown's clever free kick. The volley is brilliantly saved by Białkowski, tipped on, and then the point blank one for Białkowski. Look, Collins could have scored 4 goals. We could be hailing a 4-goal haul from a striker, but that was kind of the difference, really. And so what I'm saying is, I think it was probably a fair result in the end. I know Luton fans are going to come away saying we had all of that attacking intent, and you've just pointed out 4 Collins chances, but part of the low block away defensive strategy is your keeper playing well, and Białkowski did play well. So Luton looks a much happier place at the moment than Millwall, let's just say. I think Luton are on the right track here. They do have to, when they could have strangled that game in the first half and gone on and taken these 3 points, and maybe they need to get a bit more savvy, particularly in their home games, and they've got to take those chances. But of the 2 sides today, there was one trying to play quick passing and lots of attacking, and there was one sitting back and playing it cautious, and I think we all know which way around that. So impressed with Luton the 2 times I've seen them, but this is the key. I've seen them twice and they've drawn twice and they've played well twice. So it's all about winning and getting those points on the board. I think for Luton, just stay in the division until that new stadium's built, I think, and, try and move on as a club. For Millwall, it's a really, really interesting time because we're a long, long way into Neil Harris's tenure now. He's had great success. He's had that promotion. He's had that brilliant season. They've had some good cup performances as well, obviously one in the playoffs at Wembley. So it's been a really good tenure. This is the biggest test of it now, where I think the fans were patient with him through last season, which was transitional, and now I think they just want a bit more. He's brought in some new players, and I guess the complaint from the Millwall fans is it's just not up at them fighting Millwall enough, and there's a lot of sitting back, playing it very safe, playing for draws, and maybe they'll tolerate that away from home, but when you start to see that in home games and matching up formations and trying to stop the other team, and this incredible run which is broken today of not scoring from open play, they've done it today. So that's what the Millwall fans want. I think they want a bit more fight, they want a bit more attacking intent, and they just want a bit more purpose, progressive passing, bit more creativity. I'm sure they're not asking for tippy-tappy, keeping the ball split in the centre half, but just that thrust that they had in the 17-18 season needs to come back. It's really on a knife edge for Harris, and I'm going to be at Millwall again on Saturday. It's Millwall Leeds. So again, say Leeds go 2-0 up in that one, could turn nasty again. So it's always just teetering there. So it's a very interesting time for the Millwall fans and for Neil Harris. I don't know how it's going to pan out. Remember though, traditionally in the Championship, over last season and this, Millwall have won less games than they've lost, haven't they? So, there's going to be bad moments, and it's going to be interesting to see how it pans out over the winter, especially if there is a run of defeats. Really interested to know what Luton fans think. Do you agree on a different day, Collins pops a couple of those in and you win that game? Or you know, did you come up against a stubborn Millwall team that deserved to get something? Interested to hear from the Millwall fans in the comments. Where is this with Harris now? Is it literally a 3-0 or 4-0 defeat away from big trouble? Is it literally 2 defeats in a row and there's going to be big trouble? It looks really on a knife edge, and I'm interested to know what's going to happen in the future. And do you agree with my assessment that it seems like they just want a bit more attacking thrust and a bit more purpose rather than a cautious passive team? Thank you everybody for watching. Second game of the midweek, third game of the week. If you're keeping up and watching all the videos, I thank you big style. I assume you have already hit the subscribe button and rung the bell for notifications. If you're new, you're a Millwall fan, I'll be at your game on Saturday, so check that out. Any fan of the Championship, I do reviews, previews, etc, so you can look at all of that. Follow me on Twitter at Benjamin Bloom. This will always be free on YouTube, but I have started a Patreon, so if you want to support me monetarily, hit me up, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. 1-1 here today at Kenilworth Road. Honours even, bit on a knife edge at Millwall. Luton appear to be going in the right direction. See you all at the weekend. Thanks for watching. Over and out.